So, are there any reasons to get the normal Pixel 7 instead of the Pixel 7 Pro? I can think of about 300 of them. Oh! So, is it worth getting the $900 Pixel 7 Pro when the $600 Pixel 7 looks like it does most of the same stuff? Well, let's take this approach. I'll list the unique features of the Pixel 7 Pro that set it apart. You decide if they are worth the extra $300 to you. Let's start from the top. It's definitely the bigger phone, with slightly more screen real estate. It has a 6.7-inch display versus a 6.3-incher on the Pixel 7. On paper, that's not much of a difference. In reality, it's just enough to provide some extra viewing comfort and room on the keyboard for people with bigger fingers. The Pixel 7 definitely does not look small, but kind of flirts with the idea of being compact. By 2022 standards, I mean. The Pixel 7 Pro's screen has a 120Hz refresh rate, the Pixel 7 has 90Hz. Personally, I am a proponent of anything above 60Hz is good enough to make your phone feel smoother and more responsive. Some users, though, swear by the philosophy of 120Hz or bust. So, your call. But I think the Pixel 7 is good enough. In terms of color reproduction, both screens are very similar. Both are OLED panels, so you know, deep blacks, infinite contrast, and the ability to produce very vivid colors. But keep them in natural mode and both look very accurate. Now, when it comes to speakers, the Pixel 7 Pro definitely wins. It sounds big, crisp, meaty, and detailed. The Pixel 7 also has stereo speakers, but it's kind of thin and honky. It gets the job done, certainly, for YouTube videos and other non-pretentious content. But the Pro just sounds better, no two ways about it. Now, design is also important. You know, the vanity tax, the primal desire to have something that's shiny and special. The Pixel 7 Pro is obviously the more premium one. It has the shiny frame, the slightly more sophisticated finishes, and the curved display. Now, I know a lot of people hate a curved screen because it's harder to grip without any ghost touches. I really like what Google has done with the Pixel 7 Pro here. The frame has a slight lip, a slight sharp edge that you can feel as you wrap your fingers around the screen. It's not prominent, but just enough to give you a more secure grip. And it serves as a perfect guide for your fingers, allowing you to handle the phone much more confidently. So in terms of design, I would say the Pixel 7 Pro is a lot better. It looks and feels more special. The Pixel 7 looks a bit more, well, plain, and it's kind of more boring to handle, if I can say that. Though I do need to warn you about the Pixel 7 Pro and the glossy finish on its metal frames. Look at our brand new device. It has been sitting on desks, in pockets, and generally been paraded around for design photos and whatnot. The metal bar on the cameras is already showing wear and tear, like it's time to retire. The Pixel 7's matte finish, on the other hand, is still pristine. Let's move on to performance. Wait, why? These are the same phone! Okay, here's a couple of benchmark graphs on screen. Yes, the Tensor 2 is not as powerful as a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, for example, but since I am comparing the pixels in this video, yeah, content. Both of these perform the same and they will have the same advanced features. The Google Assistant call screening and Direct My Call, the image deblur which magically removes blur from any old photo, and the new guided frame feature that helps the visually impaired use the camera app. And since we just mentioned the camera, let's just awkwardly move to that segment of the review. Okay, the main cameras are the same. Google said as much. Just as a proof of concept, here's a couple of samples taken with the 7 and 7 Pro. Of course, the main difference between these two camera systems is zoom. Obviously, the Pixel 7 Pro has a 5x zoom telephoto camera. Not only that, when you're zooming between 2x and 4.9x, the Pixel 7 Pro will actually still take image data from that 5x telephoto camera, fuse it together with the crop from the main sensor, and produce what's supposed to be a better zoom photo. This is the final frontier of phone cameras. Probably not, but let's call it that. Google is trying to create actual zoom in its system. You know how photographers will snark and say, "Ha, your phone's zoom camera is actually not a zoom camera." They're kinda sorta correct. You have a wide-angle camera with a fixed focal length, and you have a telephoto camera with a fixed focal length, and you jump between the two. Anything in between is a digital cutting of the sensor, which is not optimal quality. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV, for example, has a telephoto camera which actually has mechanical movement, and it can give you actual optical zoom to a limited degree. Google is trying to combat these limitations and increase the feel of an actual zoom using AI and the power of the Tensor G2 chip. Wait, is that a tangent? Did I go on a tangent again?
Yes!
Okay, point being, the Pixel 7 has none of that because it doesn't have a zoom camera. Yes, the main sensor can still crop into full size for a better 2x zoom, but then it maxes out at 8x zoom, which is okay. Now the Pixel 7 Pro can zoom up to 30x digitally, which is with a pretty good quality. Okay, selfie cameras. This year Google has the same selfie cameras on both the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 7. Here are some samples, basically the same, very good performance from both phones. So what does this whole camera section tell us? Well, if you want zoom, Pixel 7 Pro. If you're kinda about zoom, Pixel 7?
Wait! It's me from the future! Tell them about the macro camera!
Oh, right! The Pixel 7 Pro's ultra-wide camera has an autofocus mechanism on the lens. So when you go really close to a subject, it automatically switches to macro mode. It kind of works like the iPhone Pros do. And it's also a very good high-quality macro camera. Again, this is a feature that the normal Pixel 7 does not have. Still not convinced? Okay, the battery section will surely show us that the Pixel 7 Pro is worth the 300 extra. Here are the battery tests, and the results are the same across the board on both phones? Come on, Pixel 7 Pro, give me an excuse to pay 300 bucks more. No? Okay, let's move on to the final words section of this review. So there you have it, the Pixel 7 Pro has a definitely prettier design, slightly higher refresh rate, better loudspeakers, a zoom camera and a macro camera. 900, 600. Tell you what, Black Friday is coming up. If you can find a deal on the Pixel 7 Pro, it is definitely worth it. It's a pretty good flagship phone. But if you want the best bang for the buck out there, the creme de la creme of affordable flagships, the Pixel 7 is so hard to beat, man. So which one are you getting? Comment section is open. Except for you, Jimmy! Can you imagine if there's a Jimmy out there? Jimmy, I'm sorry, I was just kidding. Comment, subscribe, like this video. Let us know which phone you prefer. That's the review. Bye!